What if I told you that in the darkest depths of the ocean sail machines so extremely lethal that they could wipe out entire cities in the blink of an eye? This is no exaggeration. We are talking about steel colossi over 150 meters long, capable of carrying nuclear missiles with apocalyptic power, sinking aircraft carriers as if they were toys, patrolling silently for months and vanishing under kilometers of water as if they never existed. Their mission is simple and terrifying. If a global war breaks out, make sure that no corner of the planet is safe. Today on TechZNX, you are going to discover the 7 most powerful and destructive submarines on the planet. Machines so extreme that they could decide the fate of humanity from the depths. Let's begin. Top 7. Rubis-class submarines. Small in size but gigantic in stealth. The French Rubis-class submarines prove that you don't need to be colossal to be lethal. At barely 73 meters long, they are the most compact nuclear attack submarines in the world. And that is exactly what makes them a nightmare. Their nuclear reactor allows them to patrol underwater for months without ever surfacing. And while they glide in absolute silence, they stalk like invisible predators. Armed with F-18 heavyweight torpedoes and Exocet SM-39 anti-ship missiles, they can sink anything from frigates to aircraft carriers before anyone even realizes they are there. Picture it, a Rubis sliding under the waters of the Mediterranean or the Atlantic. Above, an enemy fleet feels safe, but in seconds, an Exocet missile erupts from the sea and tears through the hull of a warship, reducing it to burning scrap. And the most terrifying part? The attacker has already vanished back into the darkness of the depths. The Rubis class is a brutal reminder that the true power of submarines is not in their size, but in their invisibility, a silent shadow that can decide a battle without ever being seen. Top 6. Astute-class submarines. From the depths of the Atlantic emerges one of the most advanced predators of the Royal Navy, the Astute class. These British colossi are the definition of technology applied to submarine warfare. They never need to refuel their nuclear reactor throughout their entire lifespan, meaning they can remain operational underwater for decades. Each Astute is armed with heavyweight spearfish torpedoes, able to sink a warship with a single strike, and Tomahawk cruise missiles that can hit land targets more than 1,600 kilometers away. In practice, they can launch surgical strikes on entire cities without ever coming close. But what really makes them terrifying is not just their arsenal, it is their silence. The Astute class is so stealthy that NATO itself describes them as ghosts in the ocean. They can shadow enemy submarines for weeks without detection, and when the moment comes, they strike with lethal precision. Imagine an Astute patrolling beneath Arctic waters. No one sees it, no one hears it, but its commander knows that with a single button he can sink an aircraft carrier or erase a military base. These are invisible weapons, designed to remind the world that British power can still strike from the shadows. Top 5. Yasen-class submarines. Here we step beyond the conventional and into the truly terrifying. The Russian Yasen class is nicknamed the Carrier Killer, and not without reason. These giants were built specifically to hunt down and destroy the crown jewels of any enemy fleet. At over 130 meters long with a next-generation nuclear reactor, they can stay underwater for months, moving in such absolute silence that even the most advanced U.S. Navy systems have struggled to detect them. Their arsenal is what makes them truly lethal. Zircon hypersonic missiles that reach speeds over 8,000 kilometers per hour, caliber cruise missiles with intercontinental range, and heavyweight torpedoes capable of erasing a destroyer in seconds. A single Yasen carries enough firepower to dismantle an entire naval group in mere minutes. Picture the scene, a U.S. aircraft carrier sailing confidently across the ocean. From below, a Yasen unleashes a barrage of Zircon missiles flying so fast there is no defense. Within seconds, the flagship is reduced to a burning graveyard at sea. Top 4. Virginia-class submarines. If the Russian Yasen is brute force, the American Virginia-class is technological perfection. They are not just hunters. They are multifunctional platforms that can turn any ocean into a battlefield under U.S. control. Each one measures more than 115 meters in length and combines top-tier stealth, sensors, and weapons. They can fire heavyweight torpedoes, deploy special forces for covert missions, lay underwater mines, and above all, launch Tomahawk cruise missiles that strike targets more than 1,500 kilometers away with surgical precision. What makes them supreme predators is their adaptability. Virginia-class submarines can operate alongside autonomous underwater drones, collect electronic intelligence, and even hack enemy communication networks from the depths. In other words, they don't just attack, they blind, confuse, and dominate. Their stealth is so extreme that even the most advanced navies struggle to track them. And the chilling part? The United States has dozens of them already in service, patrolling all the world's oceans simultaneously. A Virginia-class submarine is not just a war machine. It is a declaration of supremacy. Whenever one enters the water, it is proof that no corner of the planet is beyond America's reach. Top 3. Borei-class submarines. Now we are no longer talking about tactical weapons or carrier hunters. The Russian Borei class is nothing less than a doomsday platform. Its only mission is clear: to guarantee that if Russia is attacked, humanity itself goes down with it. Each Borei measures more than 170 meters long and displaces 24,000 tons underwater. But what is truly terrifying is its payload: 16 Bulava ballistic missiles, each carrying multiple independent nuclear warheads. In practice, a single Borei could wipe out up to 72 medium-sized cities in minutes. These giants operate silently under the Arctic and Pacific, hidden beneath kilometers of ice and water. No one knows where they are until it is too late. Their very existence ensures mutual assured destruction. If anyone dares to strike Russia, these behemoths will unleash unstoppable nuclear hell in response. The Borei is not just a submarine. It is a reminder that nuclear war begins not in the skies or on land, but in silence, beneath the waves, where a colossus can change the fate of the planet in an instant. Top 2. Ohio-class submarines, the silent guardians of the apocalypse. The Ohio class are, without exaggeration, floating cities designed for one mission only: to guarantee that if the United States is attacked, the counterstrike erases the attacker from the map. Each Ohio stretches more than 170 meters long and displaces over 18,000 tons. Every single one can carry up to 24 Trident 2D5 ballistic missiles. And here is the chilling part: each missile holds multiple independent nuclear warheads, enough to annihilate several cities at once. That means a single Ohio has the raw power to destroy over 200 cities in minutes. But their true terror lies in their invisibility. These giants patrol endlessly, camouflaged beneath kilometers of water, operating in total silence for months on end. No one knows where they are, and that uncertainty is what keeps enemies frozen. The Trident II is no ordinary missile. It travels at over 24,000 kilometers per hour, striking anywhere on the planet in less than 30 minutes, with an accuracy of just a few meters. A devastating technology that guarantees no nation can escape. The U.S. Navy keeps 14 of these monsters active. That means at any given time, several Ohios are lurking across the oceans, ready to strike. Strategically, they represent the most reliable and terrifying nuclear fist of America's arsenal. The message is crystal clear: as long as the Ohio class exists, no country on Earth will ever sleep peacefully. Top 1. Typhoon-class submarines, the undisputed king of the oceans, the colossus that eclipses all others. The Typhoon class. Never before has humanity built a war machine so immense, so intimidating, and so devastating. Each Typhoon is more than 175 meters long, nearly 30 meters wide, and displaces over 48,000 tons, a floating fortress beneath the sea. Their size is so colossal that inside they house gyms, swimming pools, even command centers that look like those of surface ships. But comfort is not the point. Raw destructive power is. A Typhoon can carry up to 20 R-39 intercontinental ballistic missiles, each with multiple nuclear warheads capable of erasing entire cities. In other words, a single Typhoon has enough firepower to wipe out an entire continent. They were designed to patrol beneath the Arctic ice, where no sonar or satellite can track them easily. From there, they can surface anywhere, open their silos, and launch a nuclear strike that would reduce the planet to ashes before anyone could react. The Typhoon is not just a submarine. It is the embodiment of apocalypse at sea, a steel beast built to ensure that if anyone dares to challenge Russia, the price will be nothing less than the total destruction of civilization. In the military imagination, nothing inspires more fear and respect than watching one of these giants rise from beneath the Arctic ice, reminding the entire world that the end could begin in silence, from the depths. And there you have it, the 7 most powerful, lethal, and extreme submarines on the planet. Giant machines that patrol silently beneath the oceans, carrying enough firepower to decide the fate of humanity in minutes. Now, the question is for you. Do you think any of these colossi will ever be used in a real war? Or is their mission simply to spread fear and keep the world on the edge of the abyss? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe to TechZNX, because what's coming next will be even more shocking.